Hello. Hello. Well, we're back, and we're back. It's the Bruce Almighty Show. And this is your comedian tonight, Bruce Almighty. Well, can I get a round of applause, people? Yep. Well, by the way, what the hell is going on in America right now? I mean, I declare, America, we are definitely vipers and snakes. Revelations are spinning out to be true, even though it is the King James Version. See, people, we've got homegrown terrorism now that would come out of our locked storage, our locked cabinets of despair. See, some of us didn't really gel good. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really pair up, and we found that we didn't really connect as a couple. Some of us was just suspect. And we're realizing this after the COVID, and so now we want to see that our relationships are getting more and more uncanny in America. And we're just having a problem with our social communication level. When we just can't seem to realize that we're all humankind. Well, you know, I wrote a book about this way back 2 years ago on the fall of 21 in America. This book consists of the problems with school shootings, gun laws, social networking, and the fast-paced growth of the American household diminishing. Now, our mental health is deteriorating, people. We're just stuck on stupid. We've been caught up in synthetic drugs. And people even believe in wanting to abuse marijuana now that they know that it's medical. But when everybody wants to be drunk before your time. And see, what these shootings, we could have had a lot of things in effect with this, like I mentioned in the book, The Fall of 21 in America, but no one wants to implement it. It takes advertising now to be on the top, people. And this is why the Bruce Almighty Show, it's not on cable. You know, so if you want to support us, send your donations out to 815 East Fee Avenue, Melbourne, Florida, 32901. 32901. We're located in Melbourne, Florida, off East Fee Avenue. Send us some donations to help us, get through to you. Okay, right now, just put that crack pipe down. Put the crack pipe down. You know, just get off the meth. The concrete has whooped your ass. Okay, some of us Caucasians out there were getting our ass whooped by these synthetic drugs out here. We're just straight an embarrassment. $25 all pin cushion out with maybe 32 pinholes in you from your meth ordeal. Looking like a starfish, all puffed up, bruised to purple. What's going on with the young people with their experimentation with synthetic drugs? Are we not learning that this is not organic? People are not getting classroom instructions on the basic drugs. And we're just going out there on our own. On a Jeopardy daredevil stunt. Okay, here's your daily double. Let's see if you can smoke this Molly and survive. And what is Molly? Is Molly even a classified drug? Are you going to be to go to the doctor and tell them that you smoked some Molly, and that's why your heart is beating through your chest? Or you shout to Molly, and Dr. Adams is going to say, well, hold on, it's going to take us 30 minutes to look up the classification of your drug. And we're going to have to get the sample of your blood. Well, by that 30 minutes time, you might be dead and gone. Because you was relying on your mama with no classification. Yes, people, we've lost the war on drugs. Drugs have won the war on drugs. See what I'm saying? That's what your grandmother should know. Drugs is winning the war on drugs. Okay? And we're just falling back. Speaking of falling back, let's check out the situation of the communicators with the yellow and blue. Well, they're getting whooped from one end to the next. But these people are the representation of democracy, some people say. But in actuality, these people are a reflection of the future. And this is the future of the human race. This is the future of the European white human race right here. You see, people, because last year, who was getting killed every day on the news? It was the black people, was it not? But now, we have people of the same color battling it out. And it's all suspect because the people of the Z just want it to be stopped. While the people of the R, you know, the big ruble heads, the ruble heads want full control. You see what I'm saying, people? The sickle wants to crush the wheat. As simple as that. It wants to keep cutting and cutting and cutting. Maybe Ukraine, Russia feels like they're infringing on their rights. See, these are people same color that won't accept the fact that they're part of the human race. They're just not accepting they're even the same color. You see what I'm saying? This is the future. But before, we had the George Floyds and the Breonna Taylors on the news. Now, seems like the situation is flip-flop. And we're wondering why, and we're scratching our heads and wondering why this dictator of socialism or communism wants to just kill, the innocent civilian, the guy that just wants to work every day from the Workers' Party, the guy that just wants to build his home and save up his money and have something for his family. No. So this is pure evil. That's what we're looking at. Evil is wearing Gucci right now. And evil has decided that it's going to get a stranglehold on these people that just want to be able to communicate. We're not sure what form of democracy they're representing. But they're definitely not part of the United States. But they are a form of democracy. So, that's why some of the Republicans sitting back there that's been eating all their life and fat say, well, why should we help them? Why should we be sending this? We're going to get tired of this. It's Armageddon. But people have always been thinking what Armageddon really is. Well, let's Bruce Almighty explain it to you. Well, Armageddon is anything, just like the Megalodon shark. That was way bigger than the great white shark. So, Armageddon has to be the largest stockpile of weapons in history that's ever been involved in any kind of conflict. So, Spock, you see, we have a conflict evolving here. People. But see, man was not created to rule man. As the Halloween jack-o'-lantern face, pumpkin face, Putin is starting to say he's pushing pay. Pushing pay in the wrong direction. Could either be pumpkin face, prison, probation, parole, or punishment. It's just straight pushing pay. Putin. Dictator. The man with the sticker and the iron mallet against the people. Just like The Rock from the WWE, the People's Champion. That's the people of Ukraine. These are the People's Champion. They've been brought into battle like it's a Logan's Run or something. See, people, we've seen this TV show before. It's almost like we're spinning back in time again and again and again. And we want to talk about time travel. It's not possible. But how is it that we're constantly going back to these situations that we should have been grown about? That we want. See, we're not making America great because we're not leading in wheat sales. We're not even leading in watermelon sales. Or we're leading in pork bellies. See, United States of America We're like a broke down Ford Nova. It's like a 1974 Nova. The bitch is fast now. If it's running right, and it can whoop you at any time. Okay? But that Nova's got some work to be done. So we're going to compete up against these international motorcycles. But as far as dealing with our social network, we're not like a 1974 Nova. We used to get her done. Now we're just not getting her done. We're working up the people like a goddamn ant's nest. The governors, seems like all the mass shooters are coming from Republican states. Or am I just dreaming this thing up here? And everybody wants to be presidents now, as if we got to send Moses back to free the people. See, some people, same people, we can't go back. But it seems to be everybody wants to go back. Go back. We want to go back. Back and back and back. But we can't go back. It's just like a dog going back to his vomit. But here we are in a modern era. When we say Putin take 8 years of power, we should have been thinking about power problems then. See, this is a Stalinist type of Iraqi type of nerd right here. This is a fat man, fat rat who's lived off most of his life off the cheese. And he just will not let it go. And any threat to the cheese, or you crack addicts know what it's about. It's just like somebody that won't share the crack with you. But they've got abundance of it and had it all the time. Every time you're over their house, it's got the crack. They got it. But they're not sharing with you. And they're flashed in front of your face. They're talking about beating your ass. You see what I'm saying? And they're having double and triple loose. Because they think you want in their crack. They don't want you close to it and they're furious. Just like the meth that they can't get. You know, meth and heroin is an expensive drug. But here it is. Person wants to step out. You want to go on, step out there, step on out there. Baby girl. But I'm on meth and I'm going to just melt my face off. You got the 32-year-olds looking like they're 52. I've got about 4 or 5 teeth left because of my meth addiction. I ruin my family. I ruin my teeth and my face. You see, people, it's part of education. Not everybody lives in Florida, so we don't have a history of low income, a history of education problems, a history of bipartisan for the people. There's a history of investing and making money off poverty in the state of Florida. It's known for pimping the people. But see, people, when you don't acknowledge your state, you can also lose your state. You can just disappear like underwater. See, as we're looking at this global warming and climate change, we're realizing that a lot of things are going to happen while we're being so busy, blindsided by what we think we control. If I could just get a few dollars more. Or a fistful of dollars. You see, people, we're not in the golden stage anymore. We're noticing how the pharaohs have just been spitting it up now. They just showing up everywhere, all the different little moments that controlled everything. But apparently the decree was for them to never be found until the end. Are we at the end? When as we're noticing the sand, as we're getting our laughter going here, if they can lie to us about election, critical theory, and don't say gay, then what else can we be lied to about? What else were we lied about way back in history? Like when people said they were sanctified when they're actually something else. Sacrilegious. These people were sacrilegious, but all of a sudden they were sanctified. Then we're looking at these Charles Lynches that came from 1897 that was Mormons, that was really pimps. With men and women. And we ran out of every state and ran all the way to Florida with a sacrilegious religion that eventually became sanctified. It's in the paper. It's in the Tribune from 1897. So what else has history lied about that we're starting to find out about? No one wanted to report slavery in 1896 and 97. We got to put you on the time vehicle and take you back to here. Most white men were worried about their name being in the paper for not paying on their land. That was the biggest problem for an American, was being embarrassed in the Tribune, the Esquire, the Inquirer, or the so-called paper. But you had to pay your taxes. The tax collector was a bitch, and still is one. Why do you think God took the time to go back in time to have dinner with the tax collector? Lord, people, we've got to see the courage of Jesus and what it meant and what he was. But they constantly want to say, Rabbi, Rabbi. These the same people that was going to stab him in the back. Just like the mass shooters looking for you. These people have been pent up with frustration. They've had this taken from them. The Republican states denied them of this, they denied them of that. Then they say you're COVID, then we're going to take your place from you, we're going to put you out on the streets. A lot of these people ain't like Bruce Almighty living on the land for 40 years. We realized a long time ago that coffee was the cure for COVID. But everybody else thought it was just a cup of Jeff. But I was walking on down. We're going to walk it out. We're going to walk it out. We're going to walk it out. As we're going into this new millennium, as I would like to call it. Because 20th century really already happened. For all you people who are history buffs and think you know this and think you know that. So we're in like a millennium. A little millennium. a little millennium. It's almost like we're frozen in time because we should have already vanished. People, the evils is working it out on us. Evils is giving us the full workout. But we've got to be prepared, prayed up. And we've got to realize white men and black men are brothers anyway. Fuck you. And I hate you. And all this and that. But what are the real facts? When two brothers don't get along. So we've seen the Great Divide. We've been known what it was. But see, as the darkness approaches, it's seeking to devour anyone and anybody can be devoured nowadays. If you realize, rich or poor, big wrong places, wrong time. Just like a right turn. Wrong turn. But that's where we are. And we've learned denial because it's been preached to us for so long. People, we just decided that we might as well go with it. It's just like a failed relationship or a failed marriage. Some people just want to settle for what they got. But is that really what you want? The people, we've got to work it out. My mama will work it out for you real easy. Take out that belt and slash your ass on up like a serial killer. Gotta get your ass right in line. You won't even be thinking about shooting nobody. That's my mama done slash you out. With that serial killer leather belt. You know, a leather belt can do wonders for a child. But we don't even have that anymore. So people, we've got to figure the fiber out. But we are the fiber of the human race. We are the human race. And we're being distracted. And we're getting torn apart. And the social activism is falling apart. Hell, we're stepping in a few episodes of the Twilight. Where we just don't have the care for one another. Or we're feeling like we're automated. Or our life means nothing. Or we feel. We're feeling every day. But something I used to ask my mother. Well, did the cowboys and Indians have a Bible when they were out there in the woods, deep in the wilderness, or did they know the difference between wrong and right? Of course they knew. But we have sheep and goats in the world. It's just like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. See, the herd wanted to control the deep. But once she seen she couldn't control the deep, Well, the herd had to get back some type of way. It's just like the woke couple. It's just like a spoiled child when you can't get your way. Is that what we are, America? Have we become spoiled children while Ukraine is doing all the fighting for the real more, for the real substance of life that we have long forgotten about? But we don't even talk about the pearls of life. There's almost like a handful of marbles. You never know which one you're going to get.